Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Teen Quarantine. Thank you for being with us today. Today's episode is going to look a little different. So, we don't have a guest today, but I wanted to do the episode anyway. So, Matt's done this a couple of times with his mornings with Matt, and it's been super inspiring. He did it this morning. I was sitting in and I got to watch it, and it was so encouraging. So, I just have some messages specifically that I think would be really great for teenagers, and so I'm going to throw those your way, and that's what today's going to look like. I'm also editing here as well, so you'll see me going back and forth. So, as I was thinking about the message today, I actually was on the phone with one of our teen students earlier, Zach. Love Zach, he's so awesome. And we were just chatting about life and going through certain things, and he got me thinking about some specific topics that I think would be really good for everyone to hear. And the main one is dealing with having to do with worrying and worrying around things that we have no control over. So, a lot of us, I think, build up worry for as if scenarios. So, if this happened, then this might happen. And then I start worrying and thinking about those things as if they were actually happening. So, there are like literal happening right now things that I worry about that are like literally happening, and then there are things that I'm actually predicting might happen and then worrying about those things before they even happen. So, for example, right now, and we talked about this a few episodes ago, but I've got stuff going on with my kidney right now. So with my kidney, there are antibodies right now that are building up inside of my body. Well, that's the first sign of rejection for a kidney. I've hit about the year mark with this brand new kidney in my body, but it's not doing bad. The kidney itself has great numbers right now. All the numbers look really good. The things are all like positive, right? But these antibodies are building up, which is a possibility of rejection, meaning that that could happen. It's coming in a direction where that might happen if nothing was done about it. So then they put me on these treatments, and I'm doing these treatments to help counteract those antibodies and get rid of them. Well, I have no control over whether or not this kidney does well or doesn't do well. No control. There are things I have control over. So if I decide not to take my medicine, if I decide that I'm not going to take my medicine at the times I need to take it, the anti-rejection meds, well, then all of a sudden, yes, I have a factor in that. I've played a factor in it not doing well because I didn't do the things I need to do to maintain it. But if I'm taking all my meds, if I'm doing the right stuff, if I'm exercising and eating and treating my body right, if I'm doing these things and the kidney's still not doing well, there's nothing I can do about that. So they set me up on these treatments, and I have full faith that everything's going to be great and work out on the other side. But if it doesn't, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But a lot of people right now are taking this worry, especially around the virus and the things going on. They take this worry about things that literally haven't even happened yet. Like, what if I go here and this ends up happening and I get the virus and then I have to deal with that, and what if I, like, what if? Well, all you're doing is causing worry in yourself. So God tells us that, I love this, I can't remember the exact verse, but he basically says that who amongst you can add a minute to your life by worrying? Nobody. Like, when we worry, we're just tacking on more negative time, and time is the most valuable thing. So when we do worry, the worry is it happens. Like, Matt talked about this morning, there are positive fears and negative fears. I mean, there are actual real fears that you have, and those are okay. But a lot of us are creating as-if scenarios that haven't even happened yet, and then worrying about those things. And all that's going to do is cause you pain. All that's going to do is bring you down. Instead, focus on all the positive things you have right now. Focus on all the good that's in your life. And then when you have things that happen and are going on, like what happened with my kidney, the first thing you do is you go to God. You go and you release that worry. And you say, hey, I've got this stuff going on right now. Help me through this. You go to your closest friends, to the people who you are the absolute closest to, your inner circle, and you go, here's what I'm going through. Help me, right? But I think a lot of the stuff we're creating is literally not even a thing yet. And again, that's only going to cause us pain and anxiety by allowing false worry to take over our life. And God also tells us that perfect love drowns out fear. Well, the best way to counteract this anxiety, this worry about the things that we don't have or the things that might happen, is by just being thankful for the things we do have right now and reaching out and helping people right now. One of my favorite questions I've gotten so far on Teen Quarantine was, how can I be serving more right now? I'm used to serving in a certain amount of way. It was Keegan that talked about this. I'm used to serving in a way where, like, I'm with people and doing things. How do I serve in this setting? Well, all of us should start asking that question. How can I serve? How can I love other people? And this is something I talked earlier about, but, like, if you have a friend that's, like, going through something, right, and they come to you, when they open up, you, by default, feel more able to open up to them. And so the amazing thing is, when we start opening up to people, they then have the power to open up back to us. And it's this contagious thing where we're opening up to each other, we're sending love each other's way, we're helping each other, and now we're not building a false fear towards each other, a false anxiety of things that don't exist. We're building love. We're building energy and positivity, and we're counteracting the fear with those things. And I think that's the power that we have, is that we have power over our actions. So thoughts are going to come in your mind. You're going to get worried about stuff. You're going to worry about the things that might happen. There have been moments where my doubt came in about the kidney, and then I gut check myself and I remind myself, hey, no, that's not okay. It's not okay. I'm not going to let that thought take action in my mind. As Matt says, I'm not going to, Matt or Shay, I'm not going to let it occupy space in my mind. Like, when we do that, it's just sitting up there. Like, think of yourself like this. There's a certain amount of room, right? There's square footage in your mind. What do you want to fill that square footage with? And so I'd encourage you right now, what positive things can you be doing? What positive things can you be out there spreading? And that could be through making content. We've talked a lot about that on the show. Making videos on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube that are fun and funny and lift yourself up and your spirits, but also lift up the spirits of others. It could be a little motivation video. Like, you just grab your phone for a second and you tell someone, like, it's going to be okay. I did one of these yesterday where I was walking over and my gut just told me to do it, and I pulled out my phone and I just said, hey, I heard the birds chirping. So I'm, like, walking over to the studio, and it's just this beautiful moment where I actually had to stop because I could hear birds all in the trees, and it was just like a beautiful day, perfectly blue sky, not hot yet, and I'm going, this is nice. This is nice. And I don't want to actually take myself, my usual walk. I want to stop for a second, and I want to soak this moment in. I want to soak it in. I want to feel it, enjoy it, and remember it. And then I felt, because I was so, like, lifted myself, I want to share it. So then I just grabbed my phone and I quickly sent a message. I was like, hey guys, just want anyone out there to know that wherever you're at, it's a beautiful day. Like, be encouraged that you're here and that you're loved by God and by the people around you. Like, that's it. Took me 5 seconds, but part of me, I'll be very honest, part of me didn't want to stop. Part of me wanted to keep walking, get myself to work so that I could get ahead. What would that extra 3 minutes have done? Like, it's a 3 minutes that now is so valuable because I was able to help people, and I was able to soak in a memory that will continue to be something that I go back to. Because, again, in this time, we've got so many things that are good. So many cool memories that we're creating because, in a sense, in a lot of ways, time has stopped. So you get to soak moments in that usually we're in rush mode. Well, now that we're not, soak in those moments. Enjoy those moments. So there's a lot more I could talk on this, and I'm sure we're going to do it in future episodes. But I wanted to take a moment today to just share this message with you, that anxiety doesn't have to happen. It is a choice. It's a choice. And it comes down to realizing whether it's a real thing or not. Are you creating an imaginary situation in yourself, or is this an actual thing that's happening right now? If it's an actual thing, or the other way, go and get somebody to talk to. Talk to your closest friends. Talk to God. Don't try to carry the burden of whatever you've got going on right now on your own, because I guarantee you somebody else has something going on too. And just because it's different than yours doesn't mean they don't have something going on. And you cannot compare your pain to the pain of another. I have to close with this because now I just said that. When it comes to me, for a long time, because of the stuff that's happened with me, I would get this. Someone would, let's say they even had like a little mini surgery or something happened. They're like, oh yeah, I had to go in for this surgery, but nothing like what you've had to go through, so I probably shouldn't even be talking to you about it, And I'm like, no, like, I don't want you to ever have to go through what I went through. Like, I don't want you to have to get your fingers cut off and have all these things happen. Like, no, like, that's what happened in my life. That's my pain. However, you, someone who's never been in surgery ever before, never experienced it, and are going in for your very first surgery, that fear, it's just as scary as what I go through. It's no different. It's the same fear. It's the same pain. It's just from your life circumstances. So you can't compare your pain or your life circumstances to another. So you might open up with your stuff to somebody, and they've got their own things going on that may seem little or bigger than yours. No, their pain is pain. Pain is pain. So when we open up to each other, we can really start to help each other through some of these situations. Thank you, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll be back again tomorrow. We appreciate you. We love you. This has been Teen Quarantine. You guys can like, follow, subscribe. I would love it if you would leave a comment just telling me about how you felt about this episode. If you're interested in coming on the show, you can reach out, and we would love to have you so that we can help encourage you each day. Thank you, and we will see you again tomorrow.